Welcome to Famaro Talk Show. It's me again, Famzy Naija Pikin. So you on this video you listen to some of the barbaric acts Nigerians have been doing in the abroad. Just listen.
Two young Nigerian girls who were rescued from the brothel told authorities that they were then fed potions that made them feel funny, and they were told that they would be killed if they revealed any of the cult's secrets or if they asked anybody for help. Adam, the boy in the Thames. On September 21st, 2001, the torso of a young boy was pulled from the River Thames in London, and he was wearing only orange shorts made by the clothing company Kids & Company. The orange shorts were tracked down to a batch of 820 pairs that had been sold at Woolworth stores in Germany. The Metropolitan Police named this unknown young boy Adam, and they got to work trying to figure out who he was and where he came from. They were able to determine that Adam had been born in Benin City in the African country of Nigeria, and he'd only been in the UK for a short time before he had been killed. The fact that he had been placed into the river after his murder and the combination of ingredients found in his stomach that indicated he'd been fed a potion of some sorts, investigators and experts began to realize that Adam had been killed for the purposes of human sacrifice. It was then that they began to realize that the practice of bringing a child to the country specifically for the purposes of sacrifice was far more common than they had originally thought. In July of 2002, social services in Glasgow had become involved with a family after they'd received reports that a woman named Joyce Azajide was struggling to care for her two young daughters. When the social workers entered her home, they found some strange objects like bottles stuffed full with chicken feathers. Now, the previous December, this woman, Joyce, had presented herself to immigration officials in Croydon, and she'd told them that she was from Sierra Leone and that she and her daughters were in Scotland seeking asylum. Joyce also claimed to the immigration officers that she'd been a part of a cult called the Black Coat Eyes of the Devil Guru Maharaj, and her husband and the father of her children was a leader in this group, and he had taken part in many rituals and human sacrifices, including the ritual murders of 11 children. According to Joyce, one of these children had been Joyce's oldest son, whose father had murdered him in 1995 for the purposes of gaining some sort of power for their group. Joyce claimed that she had left the group when she realized how evil they were. So Joyce Ozajide walked into the social work department and said she desperately needed her children back. It was because she needed them for a ritual that was to take place at her house that evening. So once these social workers had sort of regained their composure, they asked Joyce, is this ritual that you want to perform connected to the cult that you are allegedly here in Scotland fleeing from? And she responded, yes. A local police officer who was in court the day this order was granted made a connection between Joyce, her cult, and her rituals and the case of Adam. Detective Chalmers said, quote, my first thoughts were that I was going to see a woman who may have suffered a similar fate to the parents of our victim. But Joyce was not acting like a grieving mother, nor was she really acting like an innocent woman. So Detective Chalmers, he's not getting what he wants from Joyce. So he kind of began to walk around her apartment, scan the flat around them, looking for something that might provide further information. And he saw an envelope that contained a Blockbuster card sitting next to Joyce's purse. He memorized the address, and this place was in Catford, London. The woman who lived at that residence said she remembered Joyce knocking on her door one night looking for a pastor who did not live there. And she chatted with this woman about how she had lived in Germany for a while before coming to London. And there it was, finally, the Germany connection. The one piece of evidence police had been able to pursue had been those dark orange shorts that Adam was wearing when he'd been pulled from the River Thames. The shorts had been placed on Adam after his death. Armed with this new information, the police returned to Joyce's flat with a search warrant, and there they found several sets of children's clothing, all made by the brand Kids & Company. Joyce said that the clothes had belonged to her daughters, and she had purchased them at Woolworths in Germany. And this was also important because it turned out that the orange shorts Adam had been wearing, they were made for little girls, not little boys. And the Kids & Company clothes found in Joyce's flat were all in sizes 4 to 7, the same size as Adam's shorts. And it turns out that Joyce's real name was Olmouv Bayi Joyce Arabert, born June 14, 1971 in Benin City. A videotape was also found in her flat, and on it was written the title, Wedding of Joyce Arabert to Samuel Onojahayovi, dated February 1997. So in this video is Joyce getting married to this dude, Samuel, and you can see the sacrifice of a live goat performed in real time, captured as part of the wedding ceremony. Joyce said that she didn't know anything about Adam, and she had not been taking care of any little boys. When police asked her about her estranged husband, she didn't want to say much, but she did say his name was Samuel Onojahovi and that he was a high-up leader in that cult, the Black Coat Eyes of the Devil Guru Maharaj. By this point, the police were sure that the orange shorts Joyce had purchased, the ones seen being worn by her daughter, were the very same shorts that Adam had been dressed in after his murder. However, they were not able to prove that Joyce had committed any crime, and so they were forced to release her. With Joyce currently out of reach, police turned their attention to the two men she had been affiliated with, Samuel Onjaihovi and Kingsley Ojo. At the end of 2002, detectives tracked Kingsley Ojo to a flat in London, but when they got there, the place was empty. However, it was very clear that someone had just been there. During a search of his residence, police found a video depicting a man being beheaded in a ritual murder. They also found multiple forged documents along with envelopes that contained a sandy substance. Once tested, this substance was found to be a mixture of different things, ingredients that were eerily similar to the concoction found in Adam's intestines. On July 29, 2003, over 200 law enforcement agencies raided 9 London addresses and arrested 21 people, most of them of Nigerian descent, who were suspected of being involved with human trafficking and immigration offenses. Police believed the suspects were responsible for bringing children and adults from West Africa to the United Kingdom via Europe, which is the exact route that brought Adam from Benin City to London. Commander Andy Baker told the media that all the suspects would be tested to see if their DNA was a match to Adam's because he believed there was a very strong connection between these people and what had happened to Adam, especially considering that many of those arrested admitted to knowing Joyce and her husband Samuel, and many of the people arrested were originally from Benin City. Among those arrested during these raids was 35-year-old Kingsley Ojo, who, as it turns out, was an important and a high-up figure in a major human trafficking ring operating out of multiple countries. Once in custody, police found out that Kingsley Ojo was not from Sierra Leone, but from Benin City in Nigeria, the same place both Adam and Joyce had come from.
You've heard it with your mouth. These are the things we're talking about. Our Nigerians, how do you behave where you are? When you say, when these are the people giving us bad names over time, that's giving us bad names over and over time, that they don't, they don't appreciate us anywhere we go. Just look at the act of barbaric behavior. Please, let's learn to do right. This is really unacceptable and it is not nice. Let's be kind and rituals does not work. Please, let's save the lives of the young ones and let's let people know that this ritual thing does not work. All the Dangotes and all the Otedola, they don't go through all these things, but they are still the richest men. Let's stop it. Let's be the change we want to see. Thank you once again. It's me again, Famzy Aka Naija Pikin for Famaro Talk Show. Please like, comment, and share. Let's grow a community together. Comment below your view. Thank you for always coming back. I want to say I love you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you.